Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, All Things Tonya. If you're stopping by for the very first time on my channel, I love creating fun, easy, and affordable DIYs. I really have a good one for you today, guys, so why not go grab your crafting supplies and craft with me. To make these quick and easy DIYs, we will be using Dollar Tree wood tumbling blocks, Dollar Tree crates, and a small wooden home sign. But before we get started, why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you do not miss out on all these great videos that I have coming up for you in the next few weeks. For my first DIY, I will be using this small home sign that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. This DIY is going to be very simple and very quick. I am going to first use my Waverly antique wax and my Waverly chalk paint colored ink, and I'm going to make a darker stain for my sign. I'm going to use the mixture and stain the letters HME. Use a wet paper towel and wipe away the excess, and then allow the stain to completely dry. I am in love with this mixture. That is why I use it quite often. Here's a look after it has completely dried, and I think it is just gorgeous. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this scrapbook paper and I'm going to use my glue stick and attach it to the circle. Now I'm going to take my scissors and cut as close as I can to the edges of the circle. To get rid of the excess paper around the circle, I am going to use a sheet of sanding paper that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take the wet paper towel that I used to stain my letters, and I'm going to go around the edges of the scrapbook paper just to make it blend in with everything. And this is what it looks like when I'm done. I'm going to glue a small piece of greenery in the center of the circle, and then I'm going to create 2 knots using some large jute twine that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and then attach a piece of that large jute rope to the back of my sign to create a hanger, and this DIY will be completed. It was a really quick and easy DIY, but I really like it and I hope you do too. Let me know what you think in the comments below. For this DIY, I will be using a total of 64 of the wood tumbling blocks. I was going to use these candle holders as pedestals for this DIY, but I changed my mind because I came up with something better. Each planter will contain 32 of the wood tumbling blocks, 8 on each side. There will be 2 small squares put together on each side. This is what the 4 sides of the planter will look like using all 32 of the wood tumbling blocks. And now I'm going to use my hot glue gun to glue all of the pieces together. And I am using Gorilla hot glue sticks, and I purchased them from Walmart. Here's one side of the planter all glued together, and I will repeat the same process with the other 3. I'm going to take this wet baby wipe and my Waverly antique wax, and I'm going to stain all 8 pieces. I was thinking while I was staining this that I should have used my mixture to make this a little darker, and you will see I did decide to do that at the end. Now I'm going to take my hot glue gun and apply a little glue and attach the 4 pieces. And this is what we have after gluing together all 4 of the sides, and I will be completing the same process for these 4 pieces. Now that my 2 planters are completed, I will be using these large craft sticks that I picked up from Home Depot, and I will cut them in half and place them on the bottom of my planters. Now here are my completed planters. Next, I'm going to take 15 of the wood tumbling blocks, put them in 3 rows of 5, glue them together, and create a platform for my planters. Here is where I decided to restain the pieces using my darker mixture. I wanted it to match the DIYs that I have been creating lately, so I decided to go with the darker stain. I love the look of the darker stain, especially with the fall season coming. I think this looks so much better. So I'm going to stain the other few pieces and then we're going to complete this DIY. Now that I have all 3 of the pieces stained and they are drying, I am going to work on my little house. I'm going to use my heat gun to help me remove some of the pieces from the front of the house. And then I'm going to use my Cricut spatula to remove the roof. And then I'm going to cover the front of the house using some craft paper that I picked up from the Dollar Tree because I will be using the back of the house for my project. After getting that craft paper all glued on to the front of the house, I'm going to use my scissors to cut away all of that extra paper, and then I'm going to use my sanding bar to get rid of the excess. I will be using my Waverly chalk paint color Plaster, and I'm going to give the house 2 coats of the paint. To create a shipwreck look for my house, I'm going to use my ruler and a pencil and I'm going to draw a few lines on the front. I'm going to use a dry cotton ball to smudge my lines a little and then use my sanding bar to blend everything together. I'm going to use some hot glue to reattach my roof, and then I'm going to choose one of these beautiful rub-on transfers that I picked up from the Dollar Tree to add to my house. I'm going to use my glue stick to add a generous amount of glue to the back of the design and place it in the center of the house. Now finally, the best part is putting everything together. I am going to take the platform and attach it to the front of the house. Then we're going to attach the 2 planters to the side just by adding a little glue and attaching them at the bottom. I made a bow using a tiny piece of jute twine. I'm going to attach it to the front of my house and this DIY would be completed. I really think this is so adorable and I hope you think so too. For my next DIY, I am going to be using 8 of these crates from the Dollar Tree, and I will be using 2 of the 21-inch paint sticks from Home Depot. I will also be using my favorite mixture of Waverly chalk paint colored ink and my Waverly antique wax. This is how I'm going to lay out the crates, but I do have a problem with the openings up top. And to solve that problem, I am going to use some craft paper that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I am going to cut it to size and I'm going to place it right on top using some glue, and then I'm going to just paint over it. That is going to take care of the holes that are on the top. Now I'm going to take my sanding bar and I'm going to sand away all of the excess paper. And once I paint these, it's going to look as if the holes were never there. This is what my crates are looking like after I have covered the holes on the top. And now I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint colored ink and my Waverly antique wax, and I'm going to make my favorite mixture, and I am going to paint the crates. I will only have to paint the sides of the crates that will be seen once I glue everything together. So you do not have to worry about the insides of the crates because they will be glued together. So do not waste your paint on the inside. And of course, I will be painting the insides of the crates. After painting, I'm going to take a wet paper towel and I'm going to wipe away all of the excess paint. I'm not going to wipe too hard because I do want this to have a darker stain. Now I'm going to stain the other crates as well as the 2 paint sticks. As you can see, some parts of the crates are not painted. That is because I will be gluing the other crates on top of these and that part will not be seen. Now I'm going to take some hot glue and glue all of my crates together. There will be 4 crates on the bottom and 4 crates on the top. One thing I do like about this shelf is that you can make it as large or as small as you would like. All you would have to do is take away some of the crates to make it smaller or add more crates to make it larger or taller. After gluing the individual crates together, I am going to now glue the top to the bottom. I grabbed a sheet of my sanding paper and I went over the shelf just to give it a little distressed look, but not too much. I'm also going to distress my paint sticks. I did cut them down to 12.5 inches each, and then I'm going to glue them to the front of my shelf. I am really loving how this is turning out so far. I think it is just adorable. Now all I have to do is add my jute rope to the top and this DIY will be ready to decorate. Here is my completed shelf. I am really in love with it. There's so many possibilities. You can actually put this in a bathroom, add a few Q-tips or cotton balls. You can place it in the kitchen, add little decorative pieces. The possibilities are just endless. I hope you love this DIY just as much as I do. All right, my friends, that is all that I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for spending a small part of your day with me. I really do appreciate you. If this is your first time stopping by, I truly hope you were inspired and would consider subscribing to my channel. Please do not forget to hit that notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time I upload a video. Also, do not forget to like this video by giving it a thumbs up, leave a comment for me, and share this video with your friends because that really helps to support the growth of my channel. Here are 2 other videos. I hope you will enjoy them as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye, guys.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on my mommy's channel.